Hello and welcome back to the Tenax series, season 4. This is week 5 here. My name is Zero Fight, joined of course by the lovely Ancient Angel. We have an exciting matchup today. It's the last week of the group stage, Ancient Angel. And so I feel like, this is for all the marbles. The winning team here gets to advance into playoffs. The loser has to go home. And I don't think I could be more excited. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Like you said, playoffs this weekend. This is the last chance for teams to solidify their spots here in the top 6 so that way they can get ready to try and make their case to win the entirety of Tenax Series Season 4. And we've got a pretty interesting matchup today because this is a stakes game right here. The winner of this game will advance to playoffs, and the loser of this game will have to end their run here. It is Coke's Retirement Home versus Zero Cell. CRH, Coke's Retirement Home, formerly known as TBA. We now know what they were to be announced as, and that's Coke's Retirement Home. So we're coming into this best of 3 today as we go through the maps here in this best of 3, because hey, all best of 3s do have a map select. So we're going to be able to pull that up for you. We're going to be able to see what these teams banned out, where they decided to go, what are their strong suits, or where do they feel most confident in coming into this week 0. And off the bat, we have no Sunset and no Haven. No Haven.
Lotus?
Oh my goodness.
What?
Lotus? It's
Pearl?
never been seen before. Well, hold on. Pearl is more of a rare pick than Haven, and we do have Split as a decider if we need to go there. But just talking about this series and the fact that there is no Haven, do we feel like that's a confidence booster? Do we feel like that's a good showing from Coke's Retirement Home, or do we feel like it's kind of just so?
I think it's a little bit of not wanting to allow Zero Cell to have that pick, and as well maybe just a comfortability thing, not really wanting to lean into that. As far as Lotus goes, both of these teams have had a lot of success on it in the past, and Sunset as the ban for Zero Cell, I'm not really surprised. I think a lot of these teams here in the Tenax series are just kind of banning Sunset just because we weren't practicing on it whenever Fracture was in the map pool. Let's just insta-ban it. Just get it out of the way. We don't have to worry about it. So no surprise there. But if they want to get into playoffs, we'll have to see if that's how that kind of shakes up. But coming into the first map of Lotus, pretty excited. I know I'm not the biggest I like Lotus. Don't get me wrong, but it is every week that we get to watch it here. So I think I have a little bit of reason to stay.
I have a stat for you. And this is an interesting one. In Tenax Series Season 4, by every team in the group stage, Lotus has either been played every week or not at all.
Of course.
So,
wait. Did you say not at all or every week like that? Honestly,
yeah. As in every team has played Lotus every week.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Lotus. It's GC Lotus. And speaking of GC Lotus, got that agent select running right up on your screen for you. So we're going to talk about these comps. Zero, something tells me it's going to be very, very samey. And that it is. The only difference is a Vise on Kim versus a Cypher on Cokes.
Well, yeah. So switch up actually here. Not going for that Viper composition for Coke's Retirement Home that they had played in the past. And honestly, this is, it's only that Cypher versus that Vise different, but honestly, it makes a big difference if we're being honest. The Vise is more comparable to something like a Killjoy. You have the flash to go for those re-clears as well as those Razor Thorns to delay heavily, and that's really what you're looking to get out of with this double Sentinel comp. You're looking to delay with the Vise, and then you can have that chamber as well to lock down, go aggressive, have that rendezvous to teleport out. And on this defense side, it's just so much control. Both of these teams, though, are locking in that fade raise. So we'll have to see kind of how that plays out. Typically, I feel like with this comp, we see a lot of Yoru, but opting maybe for that comfort pick. Starting off on the attack side here, it's going to be Zero Cell, and it's going to be an all-out brawl to start us off here over towards A Rebel.
That's where the fun In lies. A brawl towards rubble about to take place. Players galore sending shots away, and Jid will find Ivory as the opening frag here on Lotus. It puts Zero Cell at that early advantage, and look at what they want to do off the back of this. They want to actually slow things down, wait for an overpeak, and they do have a lot of space towards Mound, so it's going to leave these two players over here on the A site kind of alone. Colby tries to take the fight onto Kim, and it still just jiggles about. May and Fever both sit inside tree and wait. It's May and Rover doubling up. Is the fade. Sam trying to take those picks, does find 2 in return, clears out that A site, and it's that 3-on-2 post plant. It's about to take place.
Where are you?
They know one of these players is flank. Do they know about the reposition? Colby. They opt to fight into heaven, but grouped up. Sam's solo HP.
Takes the peek. Couple shots. Down low, but turned back. Means Colby finds 2. And now it's just up to Kim. Oh, so low, running around. Coxera jumps with the frenzy. And a complete oversight in heaven brings the first round to Coke's retirement home. What a 2K by Colby.
Just the timing was just so perfect. Able to pick those up and get the retake done. And I think as soon as they saw the Cypher on the flank, they assumed that Colby had stuck with them, but just a beautiful wrap to close that out. And the defense getting off to a strong start here. We talk about Lotus, it's an attack side map, but both these teams are running that double sentinel composition, and Colby is going to be the player to continue to watch on this defense side, allowing just getting that operator online early, not opting in for an outlaw. It'll be Ivory that picks that weapon up. And Jid, a little bit of credits put into the headhunter, so trying to go for a little something. Sam as well with that sheriff. Other than that, there's not much invested here in round number 2.
And look at that push up they're holding for it. Yeah. Kim finds
huge.
the opener. And finds that opener. Ivory trying to frag back, but does get traded out by Cat. And all of a sudden, 4-on-3. You have a fair bit of info to work with. You have a core 4 alive, ready to hit this site. It's only going to be Cokes alone over towards Bend. Does have a stinger.
They need to wait. They need to wait, make sure they're going as a team. Jid could be tossed over this outlaw. Now a little bit of damage. Cokes still able to take down Sam.
First. Looking for more. Cokes in the back of the site here. Has to hold, ducks into the smoke and falls away at perfect timing. Keeps the numbers even. Cat needs to start to stick. There is a gap. Jid tries to take the shot with the outlaw, but to no avail. Retake's gonna start early. Spike's not planted yet, and Cokes is looking to farm away. Looking for 4. Jid has to try and do so much here with 20 seconds left. There's a gap in the smoke. And doesn't find the kill.
And 2 of these players, yeah, full armor, like you said, 15 seconds. This,
10 seconds left.
it's done for Jid.
Done.
And it started off well, right? They were able to get those 2 kills, and Jid, oh my god. I thought I maybe spoke a moment too soon there. Angel with that one. Jesus. So some good damage there done. 4 players falling. But still the round going the way of Coke's retirement home. And with that outlaw being picked up, it's just 2 weapons going to be brought into this one. As rifles are finally brought online. And look at this, Angel. 3 players on light or region armor. This is deadly. And there's going to be a suck nade combo to start this off.
Oh, and it goes in deadly. The shadow step gets taken out too by May. Now you have to start this round if you are Zero Cell with no controller at your helm. It's going to be hard to finish off this attack without those smokes to guide you.
Cover going out.
So now, a little bit of pause in this round. Jid trying to go exploring, but no rendezvous setup, so we'll meet the eyes of Ivory Swing this angle, but push back for the time being now. The rest of the players of Zero Cell grouping up, opting to finish over towards the A side.
And there's that kill by Jid onto Ivory. So it does even up the numbers here. A site is committed to. There is a hold from Heaven. Cat tries to tap for a brief moment to bait out a peek. Rover will eventually take the bait, falls away, waits for the group up, and it's that 4-on-4 retake, that 4-on-4 post plant. Jid still sits, waits, tries to catch the timing, but Colby with the shot is just too sharp. And now we sit 3-on-4. The defense, they have a really big opportunity here. And the Cokes swinging in and finding Sam. This gets really doable. Only 2 players left in. Have to swing out of the smoke off the flash. And Cokes is there. Nice little 3K on the retake, converting the bonus for the retirement home.
Beautiful execution there at the ends. Waiting for Colby to pick up that frag onto Jid. I wanted to say something, but I thought it was Jid who got the round finished. But as soon as they fell over towards rubble, the site just started to feel so claustrophobic for the rest of those Zero Cell players. And now, 3 rounds down, it's just going to be Sheriffs. Meanwhile, on the other side, Colby already looking to invest into Raider. And so there'll be a little bit of danger into this one as just a full Sheriff, but an aggro play once again.
Double satchel out, Div here, waiting for the swing from Ivory, all this utility. Dance all you want, but you still get mowed down until Kim responds with 2 frags of their own. Now a 3-on-3, and look where that operator's posted up all the way in attacker's spawn. It's gonna put all of these attacks. Yeah, they're boxed in so bad, and they need to try and dig their way out of this position. It's slow clears. Boombot to go through, Prowler to match it. No frags just yet. It's Rover to find the kill, though, and now Sam and Jid, they're in a super tough spot, and they need to get active. They need to move before it's too late, before there's an op at their back. It's just the rifle at the front, though, of Rover, who continues to dominate. Jid, a 1v2, 2 HP to the name.
And Tour de Force still in that back pocket, but the plant will be noted. Tripwire as well, surely to be broken. But no, that's a little bit of info to give.
A double swing. It's just too strong.
It's clean, and then with 2 HP, right, that's the expected outcome. The round gets converted, 4-0 now for the retirement home. And honestly, Angel, I feel like there needs to be a timeout, something to kind of convert Sun around here and change the game plan so far for this attack side of Zero Cell. It's been just brute force over towards rubble, trying to get this early space. But whenever you have, I mean, just the double satchel in from Ivory, May going in with a teleport, the investment of so much utility, it can be hard to eat up that space. So in round number 5, their next chance to have rifle view rifle, they go over towards C-Mount, but Colby with that operator.
The eye was broken, they weren't aware, but at the very least there's a response onto Cokes. And Jid's Tour de Force won't be able to find much. Colby will get taken out after taking out Div.
And it's trades on trades, and Kim picks up the lurk onto May. Now, no smokes for this defense. 3 ultimates to boot as well. The C-Site should be able to get gains here. And Ivory, the main character here, but Kim able to get it. And now, finally, Angel, Zero Cell feel like they have an advantage here in a 3v1 post plant.
And it feels safe too, right? Rover working with an Odin here. Not going to be able to do too much in terms of quick peeks. Jid will be posted up in this corner, does get taken out. This now becomes doable. Oh, that was scary spam at first. Thankfully, no bullets connect. Cat will be sitting here waiting for the swing. The Seas goes right past them, and that will allow it. Kim will be the one to take the final shot. And it's finally that first round on the board for Zero Cell.
They get themselves around, not even having to invest those ultimates that they got online, outside of the Tour de Force, of course. And so, with picking up the operator from Colby. Jid bring that one in, and Colby will pop the tour de force of their own. But now round number 6, Zero Cell need to keep this streak alive, need to start building that economy. And both of these teams are going to be looking to invest these ults. They understand how important it is to gain this round, and there's 3 players over towards C Mounds.
Oh, this is a brawl. Ultimates away over towards C. Sam sits. Showstopper in hand. Sends it through. Damage done onto Ivory, but nothing more. They run away. They sense the stack. No,
yeah, they know what's happening. But so there's going to be a Cypher setup here. 2 players going to be rotating over.
It's a scramble to the A site here. Cokes sits and waits, trying to play off the cage. Kim goes in, has to take care of the trap wire. Cokes now playing off of the cage here, swings out at the perfect time to combine with Kobe for 2. And now it's that 5v3. They have to run away, blinded up by paranoias, shown by prowlers. But they force this attack to be stuck in tree at a halt. A swing in, trying to clear. Div, able to take care of Cokes. Colby has to fall away as well. Sure, you're reinforced by a player on the site in Ivory, but it's still a rough spot. 3 on 4. This is still losable.
30 seconds left.
It is indeed. The 3 players still alive. From the shadows available as well for a potential pivot play from Div. But the contact walk, the 20 seconds left, time's getting low here. They have to make a decision. They have to press forward.
They saw one. They know that Colby is stuck in towards drop. Cat takes care of the first, but Colby's at the very least there to respond. 5 seconds left. This has to be the stick. And there's the hold from Jid. Takes care of Colby just like that. And the spam doesn't work either, so Div gets away scot-free. And now a 2-on-2. You do have Jid, who's stuck in hell. Over towards drop, just waiting. Div holding with a crossfire, but yeah, there's a smoke, and the eye won't find anyone. Div just sits and waits, and that is critical spam. May takes care of one. It now has to be Jid. Finds the first, and now it's just May. All alone. They need to put the team on their back. It's Jid to get the clutch instead to keep the round going for Zero Cell.
A 3v5 there for Zero Cell to close it out and keep their streak alive, get the second on the board for themselves, and that is a heartbreaker for the retirement home. When with that as well, their money is a little all over the place. Rover only able to force up a stinger. Ivory with the Guardian. But once again, it's going to be another bout over towards this A rumble area, and a showstopper as well. It's Simp, but it sees nothing.
That first kill, it's Colby again, striking hot onto Kim. They want more out of this, though. They want to gain all this space, and look at what they have so far. Colby takes another shot, this time onto Sam. It's good. Now a 3-on-5 again, but we saw what happened last time. We saw what Jid and Div could do in these moments. Cokes alone, has to back away from Mound, and Colby repositions. That's another shot, going critical here from the operator, looking for more. That's a 4th, ace on its way. It has to be Jid, 1 versus 5. They want to feed for that ace, and they do just that. Colby responds hot in the server for a 5th round.
God damn, is it the statement one from Colby. 12-3 on the chamber. I was talking them up in the pistol. Gonna be the player to watch here.
A gift.
On this defensive side, you really want to allow your chamber player to just get active, right? Get that op in their hands, make them feel comfortable. And when they're pivoting around the map so often, as Colby did in that round, it's hard not to. So this one, a scatter by once again and a fast B hit for Zero Cell.
They're running at it right now. Spam already in heaven.
There's 4 players here already.
Yeah, it's a super contested post plant right now, but they want to fight for this. You can see Zero Cell working their way up towards heaven. Coke's retirement home, just sitting and waiting. There's that Prowler, tries to scan, doesn't get anyone. Instead, it's Ivory to open things up here as Jid just sticks over towards the well and is able to find one, but it's trades galore in the server that lead to the 2-on-2, and both of these players holding, trying to prevent this defuse, are sitting in heaven, and it's shot from Colby. This could be critical. That's the spam down from the Stinger, and Colby at this point, you have to make the decision to save. Does just that. It's going to be a third round on the board, but every single attacker goes down for Zero Cell.
They won't mind that as long as they got the rounds. And after an ace from Colby, the shot there at the end missing just makes the round fall apart. The retake was so close to coming through. And honestly, it was a bit of a shaky post plant from the attacker's side, but it gets done at the end of the day. So a third round on the board. Now coming into round number 10. This is just all over the place, Angel. Both of these teams are just scraping together what they can. And finally, it's going to be an uncontested A-Rubble for Zero Cell to gain, but it's a lot of noise being made. This isn't something that they've been given for free, so you probably know the setup is a little bit different here. Double player stack.
Yeah, it's a lot of noise being made and a lot of utility burned already, but they do get rewarded with the opening pick. It does provide them an opportunity here, especially to rotate out now. It's just Ivory alone, smoked off over towards Heaven. Won't be able to find any sort of value until that post plant comes in. So they look to hold, buy a little bit of time, hope for an opening peak or a little bit of utility to delay, but there is no such favors just yet from the defense.
Div
holding in this spot. It's Kim to find the opener. There's the swing from Div to take care of May. And with Sam finding Colby, Ivory in a really tough spot. The decision might be made for you here as Sam doesn't even let you get to save. It's now 4 rounds on the board for Zero Cell. This is a very strong response.
And I think that might be my favorite round that I've gotten to see out of Zero Cell so far. Understanding that they don't have to just have 5 players group up and hit towards one area. You have this double sentinel composition. You want to be playing slow. Allow that Vise pick to play. You have that flash to get a little bit of info. They sent it there over towards B. They made the pivot off of no info. But now into this, it's back to just an instant rubble fight.
There it is. Everyone's out at rubble. Hungry for blood. Colby trying to get some shots. Doesn't work instead. The rest of the attackers here on Zero Cell, they're going to be able to try and advance. Wait through all of this utility. That smoke to fade would grant them a peek over towards Tree. Slowly get to start them creeping around over towards Breakable and what that will bring. Kim with a frag onto Colby. It's a trade. 1 for 1. Kim looks for more, but Ivory still finding more. There's Rover eventually doubling up in the kill feed, and with May finding one as well, it's now a 1 versus 3. Div with a judge and doesn't have the spike. Instead, Cokes is all the way here, has to pick up a Guardian, and Div's trying to get that frag.
They have the ult.
No.
They can get out of here, but do they know? Do they realize? Is the call made?
They know, but they want to try and even the numbers first. They don't want to be put into a position where they're watching their back, turning around every 30 seconds. They realize that's just going to be impossible. They have to use the ult here. Plant over towards C from the Shadow Staff. Bait the peek from Cokes. But unfortunately, the bullets don't land. Instead, they wait. They stick that spike, and they force these defenders to try and make their move, or wait and buy a little bit of time to double up, and that they will. It's a double up towards Mound.
But Div pressing forward. Now falling back just as the smoke comes online. Playing the time.
From the shadows to clear things out. It's over towards Bend. Cokes though, sharp shots! And that's gonna do it. It was 4 very strong rounds of the last 5 that went the way of Zero Cell. But it's another that responds for Cokes' retirement home.
And that's rough. Honestly, after a clutch rounds to get themselves a 4th Zero Cell falter to just pistols. I think it was 1 Sheriff in Rover's hands, and then it was Ghost and Classics for everyone else, and just picked apart over towards Rubble. Just a bloodbath, and so now 2 rounds leading tour de forces for both sides, and once again, it's just going to be a fast play over towards this B site. But the post plant, it wasn't phenomenal last time. They were bailed out by a missed shot from Colby. Can they get it done this time? An opener onto Cokes is a good start.
Yeah, it's one of the two hottest hands in the server for the retirement home, but with Rover responding onto Jid, it makes things a little tough. That's a 1-for-1 trade there. As May and Sam exchange names in the kill feed.
And look at the wrap. Look at Kim.
Yeah, and that's Kim trying to take care of one, but Ivory doubling up means that Kim, it would have to be a 1v3 clutch. Backs away. Blast packs just to try and bother Kim just a bit more. 6 bullets left in the kill feed, and look who's back. Holding with that op, it's Colby. Kim slowly swings in, and the tour de force lands its final blow. 7-4 is what the lead is going into round 12.
Before the switch.
Colby just the knife back to finalize the kill. And so at the 11th hour of their attack side, Jid finally calls the timeout to try to get themselves a 5th on the board. But it might just be a little too late. They'll be able to get a full investment for everyone, but Div, Cat, not going to be able to get there. And honestly, they've just been shut out by sheer aggression and just overwhelming rotations from so many of these teams, willingness to fight as well.
Yeah, and when you're talking about these leaders in the server, right, we're talking about Colby, who's 14-5, approaching a KDA of 3. You have Cokes, who's 10-6. It's actually the Sentinels in the server on both sides, right? Because not only is it Colby and Cokes leading for the side of the retirement home, but on Zero Cell, it's Jid and Kim trying to do the most. We saw that amazing 1v3 from Jid to bring things home in that 3v5 round. We saw, Kim have moments of grace trying to put the team on their backs in some of these mid rounds when Jid is down. So you really want to see these two try and step up their game here in round 12, see what value they can find, because when those sides swap, it's going to be a ton more pressure on those two Sentinels of Jid and Kim, and you want to try and get as much built up for you going into that second half.
So outside of the timeout, it's once again Colby getting posted up with the operator deep on a line over towards the rotating door. Jid looking to get one, but Div taken out so early, gets a second as well.
At least it's one from Jid, right, to try and respond back, but this would be another 3v5 situation that Zero Cell would have to recover from, and Jid already right here has to wait, and Colby's there to swing in. Perfect bait and switch from the Prowler means that a 2v4 awaits the two remaining players of Zero Cell. Kim and Sam would need to go nuclear here on the A site. Colby swings in, and that's another. They're looking for an ace again, but Kim will deny that. 1v3, it would be a 1v4 situation from Kim to bring this round across, to try and get it to just a 2-round game at the half. Rover on the jiggle, though, looks to deny it immediately, and Cokes' retirement home sits pretty at an 8-4 half.
Jesus, man. Like 18 and 6th. They got the 3.0 KD. Just not exactly in the exact way that we thought. And so Colby has just been such a huge player. Almost was on for the second ace. That's kind of been the story of this match so far. The Chambers battling it back and forth. And so now swapping over to the defense, it's going to be Zero Cell who need to pick up the pieces. They would like to start it off here with a pistol. And so the double sentinel composition, excuse me, will honestly see this Vice set up pretty often over towards the C site, strong side it as a solo anchor, and going aggressive here early. Both players TPing back. And now the map is reset.
Yeah. And this is a really tough spot that you're going to see this attack side in, because Jid, with this hold alongside Cat, they don't need to be aggressive to still maintain control. And because of the Vise setup that's oh so deadly over towards C, it's not like you're going to be expecting any sort of fast C pop either. So it's just a lot of control right now for Zero Cell. You're going to have to hope that Ivory can get something done with this blast pack here.
Yep, maybe Sam can nade off of the contact of the wall. We'll have to see. The bait goes out, and the sheer wall is popped, but the door open once again, and the time is just being drawn out. This is how you typically think of this double sentinel comp being played. The chamber vice, you want to play the map, play the time, bait out the utility, and Colby lurking through.
This is not detected
Already?
at all. This could be dangerous, but eventually it does get discovered. But Cokes and Colby already in the kill feed early. May as well with one. It completely shatters this defense. As soon as they got going, they just heads ripped clean off their bodies. Div would have to go huge here in CT to buy time for this flank from Jid. Are you aware of the wrap from Colby?
Div.
You get the swing around. This is doable.
Okay.
Div with 3. It's now only 2 remaining, and Jid is over here buying space for you to come in through CT. Jid just right clicks away. There's the swing. It's now just Rover. 1v2, and Div starts to stick. Can't get it to half, though. Rover versus Jid. Up at the top of the site. Rover sits on the staircase, now lurking around from Bend, and the jumping right click won't be good. Rover closes it out, and that 1v2 clutch, it goes the way of Cokes' retirement home.
Both pistols going the way of CRH. And it looks like they just want to run away with the map pick of Zero Cell. They felt so confident coming into this one, but when players are shooting like this, Rover just coming in. It hasn't been the flashiest player necessarily, but has just been so consistent with the value they're getting. 8 assists, 12 kills, and so many of those are picking it up when it matters. And so Colby picking up the Outlaw. No one on the side of Zero Cell really having much of an investment. Once again, Sam with the Sheriff, and Jid taken down already. Such low HP. There was a little bit of damage done in the last pistol, but I don't know, Angel, if we're gonna see the same thing here, because it's a little different when you're on the attack side. You can be the one pressing forward, making the pressure. On the defense, you have to wait for it to come to you, and Kim can't handle it.
The idea was there, but unfortunately the shot couldn't land. Ivory doubled up with that opener, and Div still able to get away with one on this classic. Just some absolutely criminal kills in these opening 2 rounds. You're going to need more than just criminality. You need consistency, and you're starting to develop that here. But you need a little bit more out of your teammates. A 3-on-3 now, and with Jid finding that kill on to May, this becomes really doable. You're buying space, you're boxing them in, but Colby's Outlaw boxes you out. 10-4 lead for Cokes' retirement home, as Colby is still on the run of a lifetime at 21-7.
I mean, just maintaining this 3.0 KD. It's just ridiculous. The stats they're putting up, it's hard to get into the game if you're zero, and especially on this defensive side, you want to be setting up Jid for these aggressive peaks. You want to be going aggressive as typically a 3-player stack with your Omen, Raze, and Fade. But it's hard to feel comfortable doing so when you have someone going 21-7 on the other side. And so Jid taking a couple of pot shots there, but eventually forced back. And once again, it's the same start as the pistol, a 3-2 split across the map, pressure on every front.
Complete silence here. No one wants to make a step. No one wants to be the reason their team goes down in numbers, but Sam just swinging about off the trademark, able to go 1-for-1, and with Kim trading back as well, it leads us into this 2-on-2 scenario. Both Sentinels alive for Zero Cell. Jid and Kim. It's Jid to try and take first contact, swinging about here in stairs. Rover on the hold, but the pull of utility was perfectly timed as Jid gets the swing and rips off the head of Rover. It's now just Ivory in a 1v2. Full belt of utility to work with. Has to isolate onto Kim, but won't be expecting that swing. It's a crazy off angle to get hit from. But finally, it's a first response, a 5th round here from Zero Cell.
and denying the bonus repeat from the first half. Zero Cell, like you said, get themselves a 5th round, but there's still a long way to go to get back into this. They need to double their round count to even be tied with Coke's Retirement home. But now with both teams pretty much having a bye across the board, Ivory maybe gonna be dropped a rifle, yeah, over from Coke's. And so already though, I'm looking at Rover has online. Colby only 1 away from the Tour de Force. When you have these ultimates online so early, you can be willing to invest them to just gain the site and start this attack side snowball. Coke's Retirement home eyeing up this B site. It's just Kim home, but there's a lot of util set here to delay. On the other side of Mound, it's Jid as well.
Yeah, the slow goes up the sheer as well. Ivory's stuck in, isolated here, and Kim will be able to take that opening pick. And that does mean that it's going to be an uphill battle here in round 16 as Kim continues to frag away, has 3, and is looking for more. Eventually gets traded out by May. Now a 2v4 situation soon turned 1v3. There's a
May.
lurking Jid.
Yeah, just can't get it done at the end of the day, but that's the 6 rounds for Zero Cell and Angel. That was convincing, I gotta say. It wasn't a whole lot from the attack side per se, but I like the defensive setup. They had a good understanding. They heavy stacked over towards that B site. They set up Jid over towards Mounds, and then you can open that door, pinch anyone who was fighting in B main, make them feel uncomfortable. They either have to face the player over towards Mound who can teleport away or force their way into sight like Ivory did, and it's just punished. It's taken out, and the round is gained now.
Let's play.
Looking to get themselves another, and Jid still with this operator in play, but on the other side, it's just Sheriffs. We know how deadly he.
Here is that tour de force in the hands of Colby, sitting at 23-9. It's been an absolute monster throughout the first half of Lotus. Is looking to do the same thing here. Hasn't found that success quite yet.
But this defense, they know that this Tour de Force is popped. Yeah, they're not going to go peeking. They're playing very passive, very reserved, opting almost for this retake style. They have Kim's ultimate, the Steel Garden, in their back pocket, but it wouldn't be very much use here.
They found my trap.
So breaking that trap wire, but
they take care of the trademark. Yeah, it's an immediate pivot from the defense over towards the C site. Jid holds with this op, just waiting. Tries to take that fight, but look at the rotations. It's the re-rotate back to A. Quick little pump fake over towards C. A site, you get it for free. You're gonna have to try and flood this as the defenders. It's gonna be full 5 alive on both sides. 10-player retake.
Down.
They do.
We'll have the showstopper as well for Sam, or for Ivory, excuse me. Colby with this Tour de Force. There's so much danger in this. They need this rounds.
Oh, but the Steel Garden, it doesn't matter up against these primaries. Colby finds the first, and that's the showstopper taken out of the board. That's another showstopper used in response as Ivory finds one. It's now 3v5. You have no Kim, you have no Sam. It has to just be frags from Div and Jid, who have both been working oh so well. That's a lineup, but the shot won't fire. Colby with 1 can't get the other 2, and 10-7 is where we'll sit at the end of round 17.
Oh my god, it's just so close. Even these rounds that you just think, surely this is going to be a safe win, right? I mean, it's a 5-player stack. They have advantage. They have numbers. They have ults as well. But no, it gets dicey. But stabilizes there at the end, and so the gap is slowly closing. And for both sides there, they did invest. Ivory, that showstopper. Kim, that Steel Garden, to no avail. Not a single weapon being taken down there. And so, with rifles being brought up from both sides now, the Tour de Force popped in an early line, a shot, a TP away.
Yeah. Nothing found off rip.
Have the spike.
Jid sits and holds, waiting for any sort of jiggle. That's a second shot delivered. And you can see from Cokes' retirement home, they want to hit fast into this C site. They want to break that trademark as well. They do get rid of that. Smoke goes up, paranoia in response.
Teleport's ready.
There's a Prowler trying to find one. That was dodged. Colby's in a spot here. Ivory swings in, out of bend, takes care of Jid. And Div has to back away as well. 4v5 on the retake.
There.
Look at the other side of the map. Look at able to get Cokes off the timing, and that may be the certain thing that changes the fate of this round. 4 players playing on site, feeling like they have to go aggressive here.
Bomb buddy out.
And Ivory able to take care of Kim at first. There's Sam Showstopper in hand, takes care of Rover. May was seen in the shadow step, so Cat sprays you down. And it's just Colby, 1v3. We've seen the flank work out before. Is it gonna happen again? Div sits, gets sniped away. It was halved. No, it wasn't. Cat has to do a full 7-second stick, gets it to half and swings out. But Colby still wins the clutch. It's ridiculous. Colby just can't be stopped.
There is no way they can be getting away with this. It's just flawless. They just, everything done goes their way. Just bending the will of this match. 28-10. The 1v3 to push them to round, or point number 11, excuse me, and my god. Just, I don't even know. I'm at a loss for words here as we get into round number 19. And Zero Cell, they need to pick up the pieces here. It's alone to anchor the C site just with the Sheriff in hand. Has to be forced back. And the retake has to be played once again.
Yeah, that paint shell's from Ivory, just beautifully placed right at Kim's feet. It forces everyone out of the site. And so the plant's gonna come through here. Will eventually be that case, but the shots from Kim. Oh, they ripped that post plant right on its head before it even starts. And now Colby, a 1v5 would have to be done in order to take this round to bring your team to match point, and that's just not happening. Kim went absolutely nuclear to deliver an 8th to the feet of Zero Cell.
They have courage.
And both of these teams are unrelenting. The individual prowess from some of these players. Kim having 2 3Ks now, getting a 4K to their name when it matters most, breaking the backs, the economy. And so now it's just pistols. It's just so back and forth here. Neither team wanting to go down a map loss here in the final week of Tenax Series 4. The group stage, the final match to be played, the decider to the last spot in the playoffs. Looking to get something done with the Headhunter.
They're hungry for it. Both teams, Colby and Jid, a clash of the chambers, but it all ends with empty bullets. No kills just yet. Ivory triggers the shear, and Kim will not be able to find any pick off of it. It's still going to be this math work, this default that goes through, spreading about. A timing that Colby's looking to take over towards B. As Jid holds in the front of the B site. The trap wire was triggered, and Colby rips the head off of Jid's body. 5v4. Colby ducks in that smoke. Does dodge that little boombot skating around. Coke's trying to take care of Cat here, but the Prowler's good. Cat still able to find Ivory, but Colby getting 3 in the round. It leaves just Cat alone trying to get knifed. Nothing comes of it. 1v2 being held. Haunt goes out, being held. May takes care of it, and that is it. A thrifty to bring match point to the feet of the retirement home.
Match point.
I mean, who else but Colby to get that round and just put it on the board practically. I mean, he gets a 3K win once again. That's the second or third round where it's just Sheriffs, it's just Pistols, and Coke's Retirement Home are able to get the Thrifty converted. It's off of the Headhunter pick, sure, but then off that, it just crumbles. There's no set retake. There's no protocol to set up. And so with 4 chances to push this into overtime, Coach, from the side of Zero Cell, call this timeout and try to get one last word in with the team.
And it's not just that. It's also, you look at the gaps that are being left in this defense, right? You can talk about how great Colby is and the fact that they're 31-12 in 20 rounds, right? And I would agree with you, but you also have to mention like how much of this is coming down to, gaps in defenses not being communicated, issues where Colby is just able to completely exploit these openings and run away with the round.
You can see them pinging it right now over towards the Hobbit door. They understand that there was that gap there. They need to fix those mistakes. They don't have time. It has to be now. It has to be in this round. They have 4 chances to close it out for Coke's Retirement Home. To push us to map number 2 of Pearl. And it's a contact, a full silent walk up towards the B site. It's only one player. It's Kim. To anchor it, it's the same setup, right? To open the door, Jid to fight into B main with a 3-player stack over towards A. Colby and Cokes, the Sentinel pair, the duo, ever so dangerous, lurking up. But still, no noise has been made.
And this is a rough buy here from the defense too. You can see there's that little swing from Sam, but no kills found. Instead, Jid pushes up. Oh, utility caught in hand, but May able to win the fight. Colby has to duck into this corner and stairs. It's a 3v5. We know how these players are on the side of Zero Cell, but Colby wants to send us home early, get us to Pearl. Not if Kim has anything to say about it. Steel Garden versus Nightfall. It's a rundown. The showstopper goes in, and that's what confirms it. 13-8. It's going to be Coke's Retirement Home to take away Lotus right under Zero Cell's nose.
And man, I mean, it's just ridiculous to close this out here. 34-16. Or 34-13, excuse me, for Colby. Like, hello? How are we putting up these numbers? And you can see why they lean into this chamber composition, the double Sentinel for both sides. But my God, it's at the end of the day, Coke's Retirement Home taking it 13-8 over Zero Cell's map pick on Lotus. And you were saying it. Sure, Colby had huge numbers, huge success, even got a 3K in the last round. Like, it's just ridiculous. But it was. I mean, Kim doing a little bit to fight back, had a few rounds individually, I believe 3 of them where they just single-handedly won the round. But other than that, it kind of looked discoordinated sometimes, the gaps in the defense. And it wasn't even the defensive game plans, right? It came down to the communication gaps at the end. And that's something, it takes time to be fixed. And they don't have time. They have one map, one chance here to keep themselves alive in Tenax.
Yeah, and that's going to be on Pearl. And, when we talk about Pearl and some of the similarities it has to Lotus, right? You could see Colby on this chamber, and it might work just as well. So, we're going to have a couple minutes in between these maps. And for Zero Cell, the kind of question is in this break, how do you counter what could be Colby's chamber again, this time on Pearl? We're going to have to ponder that question ourselves, Zero, as we go to this quick break. Don't go anywhere, because we have what could be the last map of the group stage here in Tenax Series Season 4 coming right at you. We'll be right back. Welcome back to what could be the last map of Tenax Series Season 4 Group Stage, brought to you by Cracked Media. They helped us put together this little show here. Make sure you stay up to date with Cracked Media and all the things they do, including their XP Share podcast. We can find out more about their specific things. But Zero, attention back at hand to this best of 3 between Zero Cell and Coke's retirement home. We just saw Zero Cell lose on their map pick of Lotus 13-8 from what could only be described as a Colby masterclass.
I mean, yeah, truly nothing else. 34-13 was their ending stat line on the Chamber. Resident Chambermain, both of those teams, like you said, it was Zero Cell's map pick. Both of the teams leaning in towards that double Sentinel comp, really allowing their players to kind of have those individual moments. And so coming into Pearl, this is Coke's retirement home's map pick. This is where they feel the most confident. They feel the most comfortable. We'll have to see what they go for as we head into the Agent Select in just a minute. But honestly, before we get into that, Ancient Angel, I think I would like to see them go similar ways as Lotus. I mean, both of these teams liking that Chamber comp. Pearl, arguably a better map for Chamber. And this double Sentinel comp, I think we've seen like BBL, G2 play it. We've seen over in the main GC circuit. So lots of VODs to try to scrape from and take ideas on how to play this composition. And I think it leans into the Coke's retirement home's kind of success and how they want to play. And if Colby has another game like they put on in Lotus, it's going to be a quick 2-0 and they're going to be sending themselves to those playoffs. But for Zero Cell, this is the last chance. This is the ride or die.
Yeah, and speaking of Zero Cell, and we're talking about comps, I actually think they should stick to similar things that we saw on Lotus as well, right? We know that Vise is super strong on this map. We know that Chamber as well, and I think that the way that they can kind of develop that defense with having both of those Sentinels each controlling an extremity would be a really interesting dynamic to watch. I think we know that these players are comfortable on those agents, so as we, jump into Agent Select in these coming moments, that's going to be a really interesting point, is do Zero Cell and Coke's retirement home stick to their strengths or the things that we saw on Lotus that worked, or do we decide, it's a different map, we need a different look, and we're looking through and you can see it, there's no Chamber on the board for either team.
That's so surprising to me. It's the double duelist comp being picked up, the Jet and the Yoru, with the Colby on that Jet for Coke's retirement homes. On the other side, it's a double Sentinel comp for Zero Cell, but not one that we see very often, right? So with the Killjoy and the Deadlock, Cat picking that roll up, I feel like, honestly, I don't know if I've ever seen Deadlock on Pearl, so I'm not sure exactly what their game plans are, but I'm excited to see how they kind of look to control this space, already getting set up with some of those sound sensors. So maybe trying to really fight heavy and anchor some of these sites rather than how you want to play with a Killjoy for like those delay mollies, right?
I mean, don't get me wrong, right? I've seen Deadlock on this map before, and you're kind of using that wall to buy a lot of time for your rotations, but this might be like the first Killjoy pick I've seen all 2025 that wasn't on a while. It's been a very long time for this agent, so I really want to see what Kim is cooking up here on the Killjoy.
It can bring a lot of value, especially with that lockdown, but we're not going to see that for a long time. It's going to be Cat, the Sentinel, who needs to take this first line of defense and try to do their best.
Barrier mech goes up, utility being countered by Cat. There's that teleport in, and the Gravnet doesn't matter. Cokes sits Cat right on down. We sit in the 4v5. Is that spike going to be planted? The Seize is good. Looking for some shots here as Kim finds a quick 2 to bring the numbers back in favor of Zero Cell. That's another one in the hands of Kim, and Jid with one as well means Ivory's alone in a 1v3. Smoked off. Bomb immediately gets to half. No, it doesn't. They got off just a bit too early, but Sam, that doesn't matter to them. They just take you on down, and Zero Cell, they start things off with the pistol here.
Finally able to get a pistol round on the board. And this series has honestly just been the story of the Sentinels, right? Kim, the star player so far for Zero Cells, coming up with so many huge rounds in that map number 1 of Lotus, having multiple 3Ks, even a 4K. And so already starting off strong, 4 pips towards that lockdown. And as well, I'm looking at Sam and Colby really here. 2 players we are not, Colby, excuse me, Ivory. 2 players we haven't really been talking about a whole lot. They've kind of been overshadowed by the likes of those Chamber players in the last map. But the Duelist here really are going to need to find their footing, especially with Sam on this defense side, looking to potentially try to maybe pick up an operator, lean into that comfortability pick. But back into this round, there is a little bit of an investment. Colby has that Bucky Cokes with the Sheriff.
Still doubles up for the opener. Brings that 5v3 into their favor for what feels like the first time in a long time, especially when you looked at Lotus. Colby's Bucky. It is found out. So we're going to see what Colby can do here. 360 for the style points. Doesn't get
I like it. I like it. I like it.
You have to respect it, right?
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
And so,
but
you know, it's not always going to happen, and that's okay. You know, maybe we'll see a 360 with a judge in a couple rounds, and then all will be forgiven, Colby.
I hope so, but I don't know. Maybe not. But so left into this. Yeah, I'll keep the belief. I'll keep the belief.
yeah.
But what I really want to believe in is Kim looking for these kills, because already was able to pick up those 2, has 6 ult points, going searching here. There's 2 players making their way through art, will get sight here. But I'm wondering, are they communicating this? How good are these min-maxing moments?
Well, Alarm Bot does get 1, and that's going to be Cokes gone. And there you go. Kim with 1 more kill to wrap things out. It's going to be 7 out of 9 points towards that lockdown. We're getting that thing online early, Zero.
Indeed, we are. But now, here, Angel, they finally will be able to judge.
I told you. I told you. I'm right here for it.
Okay, but with the first full buy coming out here from Coke's retirement home, this double duelist composition will finally be able to really get the start, the aggression that you can have with this comp, just really trying to overwhelm some of these sites. But as I say that, I mean, this Deadlock Killjoy comp, it's so hard to get through. You can stack these sites pretty heavily, fight on them, and make it hell for the duelists to get through. But just farming up the ult orbs early, wanting to get those taken away, as it's a default start round number 3, and an insert for Colby, just in case there's any mid-round exploration.
Sentinel utility galore over here in link. Art next to be explored, as mid seems to be the name of the game here in round number 3 for the retirement home. And Cokes and Ivory, just beautiful communication there to find 2. Cat's alone here. Colby, helicopter judge. It finds its way into the round. Zero, you are fuming.
AC 130, but Cokes, okay. Stabilizes. And I think Colby might get another one. I think it might happen.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Colby. Do it. Do it for the culture. There it is. Quick little judge 2K. No bonus conversion. 0 cell. You're not going to be able to get that 3-0 lead.
Colby's for the people. They know what the people want, honestly.
And listen, and this is the thing about Colby too that I love is Colby has been a player, like this talent that we've been seeing for years. And so the fact that you're seeing Colby not only at this level here in Tenax, but also, you know, the runs that they've had as a player have been phenomenal. And so seeing them here, seeing that they're still able to, you know, show these young new whippersnappers what's up, you know, it heals the old soul in me.
Truly does. It's a big brawl though. Quickly, Ivory taken out. The judge was tossed over. And the spam from Jid as well. Takes down Rover, so now a 5v3 advantage for the defense side. As Colby looking to pick up the pieces alongside Cokes and May. But this is just a little bit, yeah.
May's the linchpin here. If May can isolate this fight onto Cat, it completely changes the course of this round, and that was some damage done, so it might loosen up this A site. It's the tried and true chat.
Yeah, how much do these rotates actually come over? It's just the one player, but Sam spots out Cokes.
Sitting in that corner, waiting for the peek from Colby, but Colby falls, and Cokes is only able to find one. Which means May has 40 seconds to piece together a 1v4. You found the first, but you still have about 10 seconds per player to work with here, and you're on the wrong side of the map.
30 seconds left.
You could argue a save call. I mean, hold on. It's not over till it's over. And May's trying to make sure this round gets as nail-bitey as possible. No. Trust.
You would have to wait. If they kill both of these players, it would be...
Yeah. Div has an Odin here. It's a nice little smoke to start, but timing just isn't there. Div gonna spray you down, get that 3-1 start. I mean, this is a great opening little sequence here from Zero Cell.
It really is. The fight, the aggression over towards A main, they understood that it was kind of what the attack side was going for. And that's how, honestly, you want to be playing this defense side. You want to be going aggressive over towards A, trying to fight for that control. You see the star being put down there. It's a potential way to fight against the defensive aggression. But here, round number 5, they're swapping it up. It's going to be a brawl over towards long. The eye goes out.
And that's the judge in the hands of Colby again. So this could get a little scary for the defense. Ivory pop flash out. There's Colby. AC 130 above. There's Cokes. Zera gets the spam down too. It's a third for Cokes. Just looking phenomenal.
Launching thorns.
It's a retirement home named after them for a reason.
Thorns activated.
As this is a round that's built off of their back.
Yeah. I mean, just keeping it in business, making sure that everyone has a place to sleep nice and tight tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And so it looks like the second round will be gained, but a 2v4 left. I would say the lockdown's still in play, but it has to be placed over towards long, and with time dwindling, this just keeps on. Just, I mean, maybe a little damage, maybe a little something here. I don't know. It's not going to be anything much to get. And so, with that being said, Cokes, okay, on for the ace actually now.
No ace. Cat save.
Yeah. Base play, honestly.
Yeah. Yep. And unfortunately, with this round win, it does mean the end of the Colby shotgun saga. Colby will be up on a Vandal in this upcoming round, which, you know, for some, you might view that as a good thing because Colby is just an absolute raw shooter. But, you know, for me, I liked seeing funny helicopters. So
truly, and honestly, we were talking up Colby. I mean, because obviously of the phenomenal performance that they've put on in the last map, and just historically have consistently put on throughout so many rosters they've been a part of. But Cokes as well has been another one of those players coming back on SAD Esports, putting up great performances and having great runs there. 8-3 here, the Star Sentinel in their own right, and so 5 players grouping up and deathballing towards this B site.
When in doubt, run it out B, flash out of the smoke, and let Cokes frag out. Cat will only be able to trade out 1 before going down in that 4v3 post plant that takes place. I mean, it does mean there is no flank watch here for the attack, so you have to manually commit May's eyes to it. As Sam is looking to find some value here with the Blade Storm, but just immediately swung by 3. Jade falls to Colby, who's looking to try and get active. And you remember what I said about shotguns? It was a lie, okay? Kim able to, you know, take out that shotgun, but a 1v3 is that's a bit too much to ask for. Yeah, consolation kill.
And I want to bring the attention back, way back to 2023, if you can even remember that, we mentioned that you really don't see Killjoy being played a whole lot, especially on Pearl here. It was a lot of Cypher or the Vise with that Tejo meta, but Killjoy still is very good on this map. You have so many places to put that lockdown, but as well, the success and what comes Agent is you have the ability to delay, right? You can place those nano swarms, you can spread your setup, but not gonna do that. Another aggressive start to fight over A main.
Oh, Colby gets that opener, not on the Vandal, this time just the Phantom, as the Steel Garden goes out from Coax, combined with the Nightfall. This is an A site that wants to be run over as fast as possible. Colby sprays in that smoke. Jid stunned up, seized up, eventually takes out Colby, but does get traded out 1-for-1. That lockdown from Kim, it's so strong. It just needs to survive for one more second, but the lockdown won't even get a chance to detonate as Kim sprays down 3. And that is the lead going back to the hands of Zero Cell.
The lockdown being invested so early there pressures the attackers to feel like they have to force the fight into Art, and Kim just makes it a shooting range. 11-4 for the Killjoy. So a response, the lead gained back, and both of these teams, I feel like it's so evenly matched here, even though, I mean, it was a 13-8 victory on Lotus, but outside of Colby just having a monster performance, these teams really are very close in terms of their potential. The attack side, they want to try to find some success, and I goes into the void, never to be found or get value, but Kim looking to do some damage once again.
Immediately, that dimensional drift goes right on out. There's the swing from Ivory, opens things up onto Kim. And Colby's back. This right here is prime Colby, sitting on the edge of this smoke. Jid sitting and waiting, Guardian in hand. It's the re-smoke that comes in as a jumping Colby takes out Sam. The Judge still will find value. The Annihilation won't find things, but Cat will spray down 2. And it's still a 1v3 that would be needed, but you know what? It's not over just yet. It's not over till it's Rover who gets that final kill to tie us back up at 4-all.
Just rounds rebounding. Not any of these teams really able to get a streak together. And that dimensional drift from Ivory, the teleport past.
I'm going above.
Sure, they have the delay with those nano swarms, but when you can just completely evade all of that util, what does it matter? And so Kim being taken down, gets it done, but it pushes Zero Cells back onto an eco, so they go aggressive, try to fight for that A main control. But on the low buy, Coast Retirement Home, they understand that they don't have any weapons for this defense. They can just go aggressive, try to overwhelm anyone here. And there's nothing that Zero Cells can do. It has to be a retake attempt.
Oh, and they wanted to brawl before that spike went down, but it's just not happening. Colby's Judge is just too strong. Now looking for the Sheriff as well. 2 bullets left in the mag. Div takes care of 1. Colby looking for it. There's the shot. 4K incoming. Colby is still hot.
Just relentless. I mean, it was an eco, sure, but I mean, just styling on them in every facet, in every moment, and honestly, like, if you can do it, you can do it. And my God, can Colby do it? So, coming into round number 10, the double Sentinel comp, honestly, would like to be seeing a little bit more success here on this defense side. I was talking it up earlier, still double mollies for Kim set in hand. You set 1 over to delay for door, but there's nothing really over towards this B site, nor towards A, so it's just this early aggression. Colby trying to get something done. It's taken down to 13 HP. Both players have to reset, back away. But once again, Angel, it's a retake setup for this B site, the Nightfall and the Astral Divide. But other than that, it's nothing.
Nope, and Colby still finds value, even at such little HP, takes out Div. Sam fell over towards A as well. It's going to force Jid to rotate all the way to Flowers as this A site is under siege. Colby will finally take care of Kim from that opening duel at the start of the round. It just feels like Coke's retirement home, everything's falling into place. Jid would have to do some monumental heroics to bring this round back into their hands. Finds the first onto Ivory and the second onto May as well. The Astra for Zero Cell with barely any help by their side. Nothing but their stars to guide them.
30 seconds
Have
left.
found two and are looking for more. A plant going down, Arc Rose destroyed. As Cat will eventually be able to join in kind, but Cokes will take care of the Astra. And now it's all up to Cat. Needs to do the most. Swinging in is Cokes, just trying to take the jiggle, but a head ripped clean off their body means that Cat can start to collect. Colby has so little HP, but still will find the headshot. It's ridiculous from Colby, but they just cannot be stopped, and they bring a 6th round home.
The fadeaway to close it out. On just barely any HP remaining, they get the job done. And my god, is it just ever so close. Now, it's sheriffs. And there's nothing to be done. I feel like it's individuals, right, in these retake moments. They're playing so heavy with this double Sinti comp. You can try to stack these sites. You can heavy stack a site with those double Sinti. Util, you can go aggressive somewhere else, but it's Cat once again going for the individual play. No Util to boot. It's just a sheriff to their name. And they get down to Kim. It's similar. It's all futile in the name of the retirement home.
And Colby just runs Kim down. Jid sits and waits, looking for this run out of the smoke. That's one, and Div will pick up another, but Colby has already found 3. Div would need a 1v3 of their own just to put a 5th round on the board. And with Coke sitting, wrapping all the way through defender's spawn, it just feels impossible, and it's another lead secured at the half for Cokes' retirement home.
Otherwise, we're going to look very stupid.
And honestly here, the attack side for Coke's retirement home, it just looks so well thought out. There's so many opportunities and moments where they're just willing to make the pivots. They're okay with going back and leaving an insert lurking and just having those individuals try to find their moments. Colby once who had 2 kills to Cokes' 8, now 15 and 7.
Yeah.
Just doubling back.
Because of that judge.
It truly is. And so now there's an operator into this one, trying to get something done here to punish any aggression. But the Cosmic Divide's invested over towards the B site, but this is all a fake. And it's going to pull the rotates, at least some of them.
Oh, Annihilation out, doesn't find anyone. They're just trying to pull those rotates. Colby now running in with the Blade Storm on their back. Will they catch it out? No, they won't. Eventually, they find that kill onto Jid, but Div is there to trade. But Rover and Ivory do the same and turn things into a 3-on-2. Cat still here alongside Div. They're trying to get this retake on DeRay before the spike even gets planted. Rover and Ivory, they both sit here on the site. They take care of Div, and Cat will only find one before the Cokes' retirement home finds them 5 rounds away from securing playoffs.
So close to the finish line. It's in sight for CRH. And honestly, the double Sentinel comp, it didn't pay off. The comfort rolls, it doesn't feel like they came into this map with a game plan structured around the comp. It feels like, okay, we are comfortable with these agents. Let's just lean into them and try to get what we can done. The retakes are not a connected effort. It's not as a team. So swapping over to this attack side, it's going to need to be changed. They need to find life. They need to find a spark here and now. I'm just going to start with the pistol.
Aggressive move here over towards A main in the pistol. Zero Cell does collect that orb, but not much else. Div working towards that Nightfall now.
And the pivot's made back over towards middle. You leave the insert of Jid, but normally you'd see someone try to fight over towards... I need to put a pause on that. There's a 4-player stack towards middle, and they're pushing out.
They are, and Ivory's already doubled up. Colby with one as well drops the spike, and that leaves Cat alone in mid, isolated, with no friends, tail tucked between their legs. Jid would have to 1v5 in order to bring this pistol round home. Ivory...
No way, no.
Just
not like this.
Dodging every single bullet means that Rover can just run him down. Seized up, lets Ivory get a 3K. A flawless way to start what could be the last half of the group stage.
And then coming out in full show. There you can see what this means to the players of Zero Cell. You can see that they understand the ramifications of this game, what happens if they lose. They don't want it to slip from their fingertips. Both of these teams sat 2-2 in the overall games. Need that third win to push them that little extra distance. And so to try to get their foot back in the race, Zero Cells go for the force buy. 3 Sheriffs and a Stinger, and Ivory going aggressive with the Outlaw.
Does find one, but still more feels like it needed to be found. This kind of half force here from the defense. They don't have the sight. They're gonna have to try and initiate a retake here, and you have to hope that Cokes can find something on this flank. Colby sits with the Bucky, jumping up, still finds one, now just sending themselves about. Does get taken out by Sam. It's now a 2-on-2. You do pick up that Bulldog, as you do have Jid, who sits here with the Sheriff. Cokes taps, waits for a peek. No one's on the spike, but Jid's shots are on target. And now it's Jid versus Rover. On the tap, switches to the Ghost. Jid backs away. It's just Jiggles buying them time off the spike, and Jid's headshots are clean. That is finally a chance for Zero Cell to get back into the swing of things.
Making sure to keep us on the edge of our seats there. Rover running out of bullets in the clip of the Stinger. And Jid's shot lands true. So the force pays off. 5 rounds gained. And a lifeline extended out to Zero Cell. And so Colby, with only the Bucky invested, able to pick up that Judge. I don't want to say anything. Can't jinx it yet because, Jesus, if anyone can get a ridiculous 3K and turn the tides, it would be them. And they're pushing forward. Only gets one though before traded out.
Yeah, and the question is, will that be enough? Well, as Cat takes care of Ivory, you start to think not so much. 3-on-4, as this 2-player flank coming all the way through in towards A main. It will get spotted out by that alarm bot. So how does Zero Cell respond to this? How do they try and take care of Cokes and Rover? We're working their way closer. Right-click in, trying to bait in a couple peeks. That won't work. It's going to buy May a little bit of space here over towards the back of the site. Will clear out Secret. And with Cokes falling, May at this point, you might want to try and just die to the spike. Maybe take out one with you.
I don't even think you do that. One away from the Cosmic Divide. Kim pretty close to those lockdown of their own. 2 huge ultimates, so we'll just fall to the spike. The 6-round gains for Zero Cell. 3 rounds separating these 2 teams. I want to point out this deadlock. We're talking about it earlier. Not necessarily a very traditional pick here on the map of Pearl, but here opting in for it for Cat. And the attack side is where you can honestly find a lot of this value in the post plant. Once you get that spike down, we saw how much util is saved for that moment. The wall over towards Art to delay the retake, the double sonic sensors as well to stun anyone trying to come through, and then you have the Killjoy mollies to delay a little bit longer. So much util to invest once that spike goes down, and a lot of spam done on Ivory, but able to get out with their life.
Yeah, and I guess that's the most important part. Keep that gun alive. Kim lurking out towards mid now, but the fear is that you're running right into Colby, sitting in Art behind this box. Nothing seen just yet. Arc Rose does go through. Colby position will be known. Still swings out and finds one. Sam is gone. Thankfully, Kim is there for the trade. It's now going to be that 4-on-4. Ivory takes care of Jid. Oh, but Kim takes care of Cokes. So it's the top fraggers for the side of the retirement home that are gone. There's May, who falls as well. Div is looking sharp. Cat will be able to pinch out through long, clear out this site. It's now just Ivory and Rover to try and grab double digits for the retirement home.
Swarm grenade out.
Ivory's in
So
long.
good plant, but Ivory's so quick.
We'll catch them. No charges.
Takes care of Cat. It's going to give Div a little bit of an opportunity to go searching, but was taken out with the barrier mesh. It's out of commission for the time being. It has to be Ivory over towards long. Sends out the dimensional drift, and Rover takes care of Kim, meaning it's just up to Div alone. 1v2. You can find one, but Rover's there for the trade. And there it is. Double digits has landed in the retirement home.
Push a button. Save
The
day.
dimensional drift invested just to spot out the final player, ping them out for Rover to clean up. The simple one trade gets the job done after what it looks like was a pretty sound setup for the attackers, able to get that A site for free, but just not able to get set up, not expecting how quick Ivory was on that flank. And so, like you said, the double digits gains, one step closer to map and series point, one step closer to securing playoffs. But if Zero Cell can do anything about it, it's going to be here in this round with 2 ultimates to bout. But Colby, knives in hands.
Sitting in the back of this pillar, looking to swing out of the dash, but Kim will take care of you. And now leaves this B site completely open to threat. Ivory has to wait, try and find something here as the lockdown goes in to clear it out.
And it's a cool play, right? They have the lockdown and then they throw the barrier mesh to trap anyone into sight, make sure they get detained. But Ivory stick around in heaven and make the jump to get the TP out. So Spike going down, a 5v4 post plant, and a lot of utility.
Feeling Nightfalls already, but there was the opening pick. There's May as well, able to find one onto Sam. They're now just waiting. They're trying to get out onto the site. The team flash was there, but May is still able to find the kill onto Div, and Ivory onto Cat as well leaves Kim alone in a 1v4. Spike, it's still planted, so it's still ticking away. There needs to be a defuse, but Kim is still here. Still able to put bullets to heads, still able to spray down, but May in the nebula will just be able to stick to the fuse. But Kim on the ace shuts it down. Never get started. Oh my god.
How? Oh my god, that might be one of the best aces I have seen. Down to the wire. And when it's needed most, Kim, the star player, at every turn, gets themselves an ace, the 20th kill for themselves in a 7th round on the board. And no breather. No rest for the weary as we get right back into round number 18. A fast play to take up this space. But it's a low buy. Colby able to force a judge into round number 18, but that's pretty much it. That might be
still
enough.
a Colby judge. It might just be enough, especially if you have a couple well-placed shots from Cokes or Ivory. It could bring them that 11th that they've been waiting for. it feels so destined to be theirs, but you still have to contend with the shooters of Kim and Jid. Cat having some clutch moments as well. Jid on that lurk, gets caught off guard, just 19 HP. Thankfully, Div is there to bail them out. So Ivory's gone out of this round.
You are divided.
Now, so much more pressure gets put on Colby here in Art with that judge, waiting to swing out from the arc rows, trying to take that opening pick onto Sam, but unfortunately, the bullets are spread just a bit too thin. And with Sam finding 2 and Cat with 1 as well, May, you pick up that judge, but with no bullets left in the clip. It's just about this classic. You find 1. Gives you some sort of respite.
Yeah, but Kim in the back puts the knife to close it out. And Angel, I feel like that ace from Kim might have just revitalized this Zero Cell team.
Oh yeah.
Shocked them back into this, because honestly, when you feel like it's lost, when you feel like you have a secured round and it just gets ripped from under your nose, and you have an outlandish play like you do, everyone just starts feeling like they have the chance, like this game is theirs, like they deserve to win it. And the communication, it's coming out to show, the ping's coming out, but it's going to be an all-out A-brawl. Once again, Sam to go aggressive.
Oh my god, this Colby judge. It just feels so unstoppable. The A main take, it goes the way of the defense, and Ivory wants to push for more. Decides against it at the last moment. They've both tucked into this corner. And mid now becomes... I mean, whether they expect it or not, it's certainly gutsy.
It certainly is. But as you briefly mentioned, the re-exploration over towards middle, trying to break some of the util on the side of Cokes. Other than that, it's really just a stalemate. No map space has been gained. The wall's still up over towards B long. And that gives so much information. And the pivot it's made to fight through this link area, the wall to delay.
Does get taken out. May ducks into their own nebula to try and buy a little bit of time for themselves. As Cat takes care of Cokes. Spike still yet to be planted. May sits out and long, takes care of 1, finds a second, a third as well. May, what a time to pop off! As you leave Jid in a 1v3 getting crunched upon by their opponents.
I have the spike.
And the transfer.
18 seconds to work with here. 2 players in Colby and Ivory slowly crawling their way up long. They have to swing out of their own smoke into those 2 players, and Rover's Haunt will buy them enough time and enough space to swing out and claim the kill for themselves. We talked about that 11th round. We talked about when it would fall into Cokes' retirement home's hands. Well, it finally does so in round 19.
And May the one to do it, right? A player who is pretty historied, has been a part of successful rosters in the past, always having good success, and honestly, great individual performances as well, but here not really coming up in the fragging department, just letting the duelists be the ones to take on that role. When it matters most, gets them the 11th rounds, and pushes themselves one step further to that trophy. Well, not really a trophy. Potential for the trophy. The fight. Yeah. The fight for the trophy at least. And so, hoping that there's not a judge. Once again, it's the same take over towards A. This time, investing the dash so early from Sam. And to be honest, when you do that, you don't have that tool to actually get out onto site. I feel like that kind of has been some of the struggle to push forward once this initial A fight has resolved, right? You can't push past the Razor Vines. You have to just kind of walk through it, whether it be with the Prowler or whether it be dry. You don't have those flashes either. It's a Rover just making the individual play out in the open. Gets taken down by Kim. So that's an opening in the defense as a minute hits the clock.
You talk about that A main play in the dash, but honestly, when you saw the success that Cokes' retirement home was having over on that A main side and in that fight, what else can you ask for? Especially now that it frees up this defense to get some other openings, right? Let Ivory try and find something here over towards B long. as they take a fair bit of utility out with them as they back up over towards screen.
No teleports in the back pocket to get out of this one.
30 seconds left.
Ivory's locked in here. Spammed through, nothing just yet. Instead has to stick. The Nebula though, the Cosmic Tuck, it was good. Ivory doubles up, and with Colby finding one as well, it puts the numbers back in favor of Cokes' retirement home. Now Colby has that front side of Hall. Cokes is looking for the other side. Both players been confirmed.
Planted.
Kim takes care of Cokes, but May responds with one as well. And Div now 1v2 in the Nightfall. Doesn't look to the side though. And Colby has confirmed it. It's series point. It's playoff point for Cokes' retirement home.
And Colby coming in huge. And I mean, Ivory as well. The duelists are just so outstanding. Ivory playing on the Rays last map really wasn't finding a lot of success, was being sent in kind of as that sacrificial lamb to allow the rest of the players, the rest of the team to come in and pick up some of those frags. And so once again, at the very last hour, this is when the timeout is called, not when there's still time to play with, not when there's a little breathing room, but when the backs are against the wall, when it has to be done. It's do or die here for Zero Cell. And it's not looking pretty. Look at the buy, Angel. It's scraps. You can have 2 rifles, maybe a third in the hands of cat knives for one, but on the other side, it's so much to go up against.
Yep. And Colby's got a shorty too. Guaranteed.
So it's over. It's over, is what you're saying.
Colby 720 shorty kill to end the series.
I would be down for it, but honestly, with how Colby's been playing, the confidence that they've been coming out with, it wouldn't be a surprise. It's just been unrelenting how they've been just so willing to go so aggressive. You're talking about this A main fight. While Sam goes for that dash, Colby does as well, because like you were mentioning, on this defense side, you can invest that dash, you can try to fight heavy for this A main space early, and then you still have the quick pivot tools from Ivory to have the teleport over, to have so many tools left around afterwards. But oh, Prowler to spot out something, and an A split looks to be eyed up. We haven't really seen this.
Oh, but Colby and Ivory, it's always been them, the double duelists, to get us started here in what could be the last round, round number 21. Rover with 1 kill as well, as Colby takes that fight again alongside them. It's now Jid alone, 1 versus 4. You have May detained, and the spike in the hands of Jid. It means that this B side is completely open.
My ult's ready.
It's gonna
Have
force
to be
rotates.
1v5 to force them into a 9th round to keep Zero Cell alive in Tenax Series 4. It's all on the back of the Astra.
Both of these players on opposite sides of A main holding a crossfire. Jid, now 30 seconds left to plant this spike, has the Cosmic Divide in the back pocket.
30
If they
seconds
decide
left.
to use it. There goes the plant. It is a full commit to the stick.
Spike
This will be where this round ends, regardless. Cosmic Divide is good. And that was both players spotted out. A Prowler in hand. It does note where Jid is. Haunt will be able to scan them out. Finds the first. And Jid, the 1v5 won't come through. Ivory. There might be a retirement home, but they won't hang up the mouse and keyboard just yet. Cokes' retirement home has found their way into the playoffs.
And they get it done on map number 2 in the same fashion as they do Lotus. 13-8 to close it out. A 2-0 finish. Cure
Defenders win.
the victory here. And my god, Angel, it felt like a close one, but at the end of the day, the individuals just came out and they came to play. And Colby really, sure, Cokes has their name on the team, but my god, was it the Colby show today?
I mean, calling it the Colby show feels like an understatement. I mean, this was Colby, just a Colby takeover. Like watching Colby just absolutely farm By halfway through Pearl, you just realize that Colby was just aura farming, right? Like they didn't actually care about what the numbers said, what the right play was. They were just looking to aura farm, and they did just that, right? Even ending this map at 25-14, an ACS of 346,
Like,
seven first
jeez.
bloods.
It's ridiculous. And so many of those are with the shotguns. I feel like this is the most shotguns I've ever seen across two maps. I mean, maybe outside of like Ascension when Sinpresa Gaming was playing over in Pacific last year with Dombi, like maybe that, but I mean, just having the flexibility as well to be able to pick up the operator on the chamber and then swap over to a much more aggressive agent, still with that operator capability, but instead leaning in to this very sacrificial playstyle where you just send yourself forward, updrafting, dashing at the enemy, and just allowing the players to come in and kind of clean up. But it didn't even matter. They were able to get the kills nonetheless. And so with that, the series is secured. And I got to give commiserations to Zero Cell. They played a good game, especially Kim MVPing on both maps here. The Sentinel player had a standout performance. I have to make note of them, has been someone who has had continued success over and over. But sadly, it's the end of the line. It's the end of their story here in the Tenax Series 4. We'll have to say goodbye to them as they sadly won't be able to make it into those playoffs. But for the retirement home, they get that third seed, they get another life, and we get to see them upcoming this Saturday. And I feel like even though they come in, not necessarily the first seed here, Angel, but they are a scary opponent to face up against.
That they certainly are. And like you mentioned, this Saturday is when playoffs will kick off. It's going to be quarterfinals and semis on Saturday with the grand finals on Sunday to cap off Tenax Series Season 4. So I real quick want to thank our observer in the server today, Yafa, for showing us all the action. I want to give a quick shout outs to Multitudes as well, our producer behind the scenes, allowing you guys to hear our lovely voices and see our lovely faces. Zero, thank you so much for joining me here in this group stage.
Thank you.
Playoffs just a couple days away. Oh boy, I'm so excited. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll be back. Remember, this Saturday. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you very, very soon.